October 2025 isn't just another month on the gaming release calendar, it's a storm, a collision of worlds, genre, and legacies all dropping into rapid succession. This is a month where haunted dreams bleed into reality, where timelines fracture and collapse, where dinosaurs evolve beyond cages, and where long forgotten legends rise once again. 31 days, 12 massive releases, and a tidal wave of pure next-gen madness. Across PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, Switch, the lineup is stacked, without filler, but with heavyweights. Games that just don't want your attention for the weekend, games designed to swallow your attention whole, to test your reflexes, to pull you in a cinematic journey where every fight, every choice, every silence feel loaded with weight. So buckle up, these are the 12 upcoming games set to define October 2025, so let the countdown begin. Ghost of Yotei, released on October 2nd, 2025 for PS5 exclusive. Snow blankets the battlefield, but no silence can hide the blood about to spill. Ghost of Yotei is Sucker Punch's Productions' return to the samurai genre after the monumental success of Ghost of Tsushima. Where Tsushima was a meditation on honor versus survival, Yotei is a lot darker and it's gonna be way harsher. A story not about duty, it's about vengeance. You play as Atsui, a ronin cast out from her clan. Unlike Jin Sakai, Atsu has no homeland to protect, no honor left to uphold. Her tales unfold in the brutal winds of Kaido, a landscape colder, bleaker, and far more treacherous than a rolling fields of Tsushima. The Mongols are gone, but betrayal and civil war have replaced them. Feuds run deeper, trust is thinner, survival is the only creed that's left. Combat reflects this shift as Atsu wields dual blades, opening faster but riskier attack chains, new stealth mechanics that emphasizes versatility, scaling rooftops, diving into the shadows, and striking enemies from above. Enemy AI has been reworked to attack as coordinated squads rather than just waiting for their turn, forcing you to fight precision instead of patience. Even the environment joins the battle. Snow crunches underfoot to betray your location, while blizzards swallow visibility mid-duel. Visually is breathtaking. Moonlight dances on the bloody steel, flames reflect off of frozen rivers, entire storms roll across open fields, turning once clear battlefields into chaotic cinematic set pieces. If Ghost of Tsushima was a cinematic painting, then Ghost of Yotei is going to be a cinematic scar carved deep into the canvas. On October 2nd, sharpen your blade, steel your resolve, because in Kaido, honor is already dead and the only thing left is vengeance. Directive 8020, release date is set for October 2nd, 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Space isn't entirely empty, it's listening. That's the premise behind Directive 8020, Supermassive Games' bold leap into deep space horror. Known for its cinematic thrillers like Until Dawn, The Quarry, and the Dark Pictures anthology, Supermassive has built its reputation on choice-driven narratives where every decision matters. But this time, they've swapped the haunted mansions for a derelict starship, and the result is chilling. You're aboard the Castlevia A colonial vessel drifting beyond known space. Your crew boards to salvage your secrets, but the danger isn't just what you find, it's what knows you're already there. Gameplay blends cinematic branching with survival horror mechanics reminiscing of Dead Space. Corridors flicker with dying lights, shadows stretch wrong, doors hiss open just a second too late. Every dialogue choice risks fracturing the fragile trust within your crew. Paranoia spreads, alliances shift, suspicion becomes as deadly as the creature stalking you. The directive itself is the core hook. Without spoiling too much, it's a buried mission protocol that activates under the terrifying conditions. It doesn't ask for your obedience, it forces you to question why would you ever comply in the first place. Supermassive has proven they've known how to weaponize silence, hesitation, and the tension of waiting too long to act. Directive 8020 isn't just another sci-fi horror, it's a test of morality, survival, and humanity itself. Coming again on October 2nd, space isn't empty, it's listening and it's waiting for you. Digimon Story Time Stranger, released on October 3rd, 2025 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Time itself is breaking, and the digital world once again is collapsing, and for the first time in years, the Digimon Story series is back with a fully cinematic and fully English dubbed entry, Time Stranger. You awaken as a tamer stranded between timelines, pulled into a conflict with past Digimon legends, collide with future nightmares, and the result? An RPG where evolution is just more than powering up, it's rewriting history itself. Bandai Namco leans heavily into anime-style storytelling here. Cinematic cutscenes are voice-acted, dramatic, and packed with emotional beats that rival the best moments in Cyber Sleuth. Familiar partners return in the twisted paradoxic forms, new allies rise, some tragically short-lived, and choices carries weight, deciding who fights at your side and who fades into the memory. Combat builds on the strategic turn-based foundation fans know to love, but layers in temporal mechanics as well. Temporal dissolutions shift creatures into alternate forms depending on your alignment. Bond system connect combat outcomes to emotional ties, making every win or loss string that much harder. And team synergy can literally blend the flow of time, letting you reverse mistakes or trap yourself in devastating loops. For longtime fans, it's nostalgia reborn. For newcomers, it's high stakes entry point into one of the most Japan's enduring monster franchises. Time Stranger doesn't just ask you to catch them, it asks you to decide which version of them, past, present, or future, deserves to survive. October 3rd, Tamers rise again, and time may never recover.
Shall be revealed. A story about the natural laws of the world is about to begin.
Little Nightmares 3, release date October 10th, 2025 for Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. Welcome back to the Nowhere, a world stitched together from childhood fears, where every shadow hides something worse than you can imagine. Little Nightmares 3 shift development from Tashir Studios to Supermassive Games, a move that raised a lot of questions, but early hands-on previews suggest that the franchise is in terrifyingly capable hands. For the first time, the game introduces full co-op gameplay. Tool children awaken in the dark, trapped in environments twisted by surreal logic and grotesque figures. You can also play solo with AI, but the design shines brightest when shared. Imagine crawling under the pipes while your partner distracts a towering figure, splitting up only to hear your friend's scream echo through the dark. Puzzles are more elaborate, often requiring coordination across rooms. Environments blend physics in subtle ways, doors that shrink when approached, staircases that twist endlessly, shadows that act on their minds of their own. The Nowhere has always been unsettling, but now it actively resists your progress. Storytelling remains wordless but potent. Environments themselves tell tales of corrupted innocence and broken trust. If Little Nightmares 2 gave us the teacher in the Thin Man, expect grotesque new monsters born from anxieties that we rather forget. Early designs show stitched figures barely holding together and shadows that wear masks resembling the player's characters. Supermassive cinematic flair elevates the atmosphere. Camera angles lean into dread, sound designs whisper paranoia, and even silence feel weaponized. October 10th, step back into the nightmare, and remember, in the Nowhere, the monsters wear your fate. Pokemon Legends ZA, release date October 16, 2025 for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. Before the Pokemon League, before gyms, before order, there was chaos. Pokemon Legends ZA served as a spiritual successor to Legends Arceus, but instead of feudal Hisui, we're thrust into Kalos reimagined. Lumino City, once vibrant, is now a semi-open ruin. Neon streets crumble under forgotten history, and Mega Evolution energy pulses through everything like an unstable heartbeat. The focus isn't on catching them all, it's discovering what were Pokemon before we tamed them. Wild, territorial, primal. You'll face Pokemon corrupted by unstable Mega Evolution, creatures far more predator than partner. Gameplay expands on Arceus action RPG hybrid. You can dodge, counter, engage in battles that feel alive, blending in real-time action with tactical command. Choices ripple through the narrative. Embrace Mega Evolution, reject it, or find balance. Your path alters quests, character relationships, and even creatures you command. Game Freak is also leaning hard into environmental storytelling. Prism Tower isn't just a landmark, it's a monument fractured by time. The streets of Luminos aren't bustling, their ruins echoing with what was lost. And scattered throughout are fragments of Kalio's history, begging players to piece together how the world fell apart. For fans, it's both familiar and alien. It's a glimpse into Kalios through a cracked mirror. For a newcomer, it's a bold step forward through the franchise has taken since Arceus. October 16th, legends aren't born, they're resurrected. And in Lumio City, the truth wears a mask. Keeper, release date October 17th, 2025, Xbox and PC. You were only supposed to watch the door, but what was behind it changed everything. Keeper is October's Indies Dark Horse, a psychological horror puzzle game that already has critics buzzing from early showcases. Set in an abandoned observatory, Keeper thrives on atmosphere. At first it feels empty, dust gathers on telescopes, machinery hums faintly, and the air is still. But soon, the building itself seems alive. Doors don't stay where you left them, shadows lingers too long, whispers scratch just beyond hearing, puzzles behind physics and perception, hallways stretch endlessly, constellations shift when you look away, and solutions often feel like betrayals. You're not solving the game, it's solving you. What sets Keeper apart is its restraint. Jump scares are very rare. Fear comes from silence, far from the way your own mind starts filling in the gaps the game deliberately leaves. Environmental storytelling suggests something ancient has been waiting here, something that knows you're trespassing. October 17th, the observatory isn't just watching the stars, it's watching you. Escape Simulator 2. Release date October 21st, 2025 for PC. The first Escape Simulator became a surprise cult hit in 2021 because it turned into puzzle solving into something physical, chaotic, and endlessly replayable. Instead of just static click and drag puzzles, it lets you pick up every object, rotate it, throw it, and experiment in ways no other escape room game ever allowed. Streamers and YouTubers loved it because it turned every session into a hilarious improvisation. Now, Escape Simulator 2 takes that foundation and mutated into something more sinister. What if the escape room itself wasn't just set on puzzles? What if it knew you were trying to break free? That's the unsettling twist that this sequel brings. Every environment feels alive. A locked box rattle when you approach it. A mirror doesn't just reflect you. Sometimes it shows things that aren't really in the room. The design makes you feel like the rooms are watching, waiting, and even judging you. The scope has grown massively. Instead of a handful of themed rooms, Escape Simulator 2 sprawls across ancient temples, futuristic labs, gothic mansions, and surreal dreamscapes. These aren't just static puzzles either. Dynamic systems ensure solutions shift from run to run. That locked door that opened that code last time, this time that code might be hidden in the environment itself. Co-op is back, and it's even better. Two players can split up, tackle puzzles simultaneously, and stumble into solutions that disrupt each other. Imagine lining up an elaborate sequence only for your friend to accidentally trigger a trap in a room that resets your progress. Frustrating, sure, but it's definitely hilarious. Community-driven content is also a huge focus. The first game thrived because fan-made rooms. The sequel expands on creation tool dramatically, letting players build an entire campaign with custom rules, logic, and visual styles. That means Escape Simulator 2 isn't just a game, it's a platform for endless escape room design. But the real hook here this time is the campaign's darker edge. Early previews hints at puzzles that feels almost malicious, as solving them is feeding something you don't understand. One showcase features a constellation puzzle where stars rearrange themselves where players turn their back. Another demo player completing a sequence only for a room to reset itself like nothing even happened. On October 21st, escape rooms will never feel safe again. Jurassic World Evolution 3, release date October 21st, 2025 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Jurassic World Evolution 3 isn't just another park builder, it's a full-blown wildlife survival emulator, only your wildlife happens to be 70 million years old. Frontier Development has been building this series since 2018 when the first Evolution gave us the fantasy of running our own Jurassic Park. It was fun but shallow. Evolution 2 in 2021 fixed much of that, adding flying reptiles, aquatic environments, and more complex management systems. But now Evolution 3 looks like the moment the franchise truly evolved. The headliner is smarter AI dinosaurs. Raptors hunt in coordinated packs, hoverboards migrate across enclosures, and predators stake out territories that overlap into turf wars. Instead of static animals waiting for feeding schedules, these creatures behave like living ecosystems. Watching them feels like you're hosting your own nature documentary series in real time. The new biomes bring variety. You're no longer limited to luscious lands. You're now building parks in volcanic chains, arid deserts, and unstable ecosystems constantly reshaped by natural disasters. Sandstorms, earthquakes, eruptions aren't just background events. They change the terrain, damage infrastructure, and forces you to rethink your entire park layout. Narrative depth has also expanded. You're not just building for guests anymore. There's a full campaign where you negotiate with governments, rival scientists, and corporations who want different outcomes. Jeff Goldblum returns as Dr. Ian Malcolm, once again voice of caution and chaos. His commentary isn't just snark, it frames the psychological tug of war at the heart of the game. Should these creatures even exist? Breeding and genetics are deeper than ever. Hybrids return, but they're volatile. Splitting genes might give you stronger dinosaurs, but also unpredictable behaviors that threaten everything you've built. And yes, baby dinosaurs are finally in the game. Raising them means nurturing traits that follow into adulthood, adding a layer of care management along the spectacle. Visually, this is the most stunning Frontier has delivered. From scales glistening in rain to herds migrating in the sunset, every creature feels alive in a way screenshots just cannot capture. On October 21st, you're not just running a park, you're negotiating with forces that you never meant to control. Ninja Gaiden 4, release date October 21st, 2025 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. My personal favorite on this list, fewer names in action gaming carries as much weight as Ninja Gaiden. The series has set a standard in the 2000s for a brutal difficulty and lightning fast combat, but after 2012's disappointing Ninja Gaiden 3, the franchise seemed dead. Now more than a decade later, Team Ninja is bringing Ryo Hayabusa back, older, sharper, and more deadlier than ever. Combat once again is the heart of Ninja Gaiden 4, and everything we've seen suggests Team Ninja has returned to form. Ryu's movements are lightning fast but precise. Combo feels fluid, but every input matters. Button smashing would definitely get you killed. The dismemberment system returns with enemies losing their limbs, adapting their tactics mid-fight. Watching a wounded enemy fight more desperately, boss fights are multi-phase nightmares as usual. One preview showed a duel atop a neon scope rooftop where the environment itself collapsed mid-battle, forcing players to adapt instantly. This isn't just a spectacle, it's Team Ninja's signature philosophy: punish hesitation, reward mastery. Stealth mechanics add a new layer. Ryo can stalk rooftops, vanish into the shadows, and strike unseen before chaos erupts. It doesn't just replace combat at all, it sets the stage for it. The setting blends tradition with cyber noir. Tokyo's neon skyline drips rain as cyborg assassins patrol. Demonic entities blur into AI-enhanced soldiers. Old enemies return with futuristic twists. It's both a homage and a reinvention. Difficulty, of course, is brutal as always. Team Ninja knows their audience definitely. Expect multiple difficulty modes, but even the normal one will demand precision. For newcomers, accessibility options may help ease the climb, but this remains a series built on trial, error, and mastery. October 21st, the Dragon Ninja rises again, and this time it feels like a rebirth. Welcome home, Ryu.
The Dark Dragon is mine.
Double Dragon Revive, release date October 23rd, 2025 for multi-platform. In the late 80s, Double Dragon wasn't just a game, it was a beat 'em up. Billy and Jimmy Lee became cultural icons, defining the arcade era with fists, kicks, and steel pipes. But over the years, the franchise lost its way. Double Dragon Revive is a chance to reclaim that legacy. This reboot modernizes the formula while honoring the streets where it all began. Combat has been rebuilt. No more simple punch and kick loops. Now you got branching combos, parries, grapples, unlockable fighting styles. Weapon hits harder, feels heavier, and don't break immersion. Every strike lands with bone-crunching weight. Levels evolve as you progress, gangs adapt, enemies switch tactics, and bosses just don't repeat patterns, they change phases dynamically. Abo is back, bigger than ever, but you'll also face brand new villains that expand the Double Dragon universe beyond nostalgia. Replayability is huge thanks to its branching paths. One route may lead you through a neon-lit nightclub brawl, another through a scrapyard full of improvised weaponry. Add online and crouch co-op, and you've got chaos worthy of the Lee Brothers' legacy. The soundtrack slaps with synthic punk energy, it's aggressive, stylish, and a perfect tune to match the game's urban grit. October 23rd, Double Dragon is back for the new generation, not as a throwback, but as a rebirth. The Outer Worlds 2, release date October 29th, 2025 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Obsidian Entertainment has built its reputation on sharp writing and RPGs filled with choice. Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity, Grounded. In 2019, The Outer Worlds reminded everyone that Obsidian could still outside the competition. Now, The Outer Worlds 2, they're doubling down on everything weird, wild, and sarcastic. Expect bigger worlds. Instead of one system, you're hopping across multiple planets, each with its own culture, ecosystem, and corporate stranglehold. From jungles dripping with bioluminescent life to barren mining colonies, combat has been tightened. Gunplay is a lot punchier, melee weapons are more diverse, in tactical time dilation, Obsidian's take on bullet time has a new customization option. Do you slow fights for surgical precision, or do you crank it up a notch for explosive results? Companions remain the highlight of the games hands down. Each crew member has their own quest lines, rivalry, and sarcastic one-liner. In the first game, their banter often stole the show, and here it looks even more dynamic, with mutinies, romances, and betrayal on the table. The real draw is the choices. Obsidian doesn't do good or evil, they do ridiculous and logical. Sell your crew out for a lifetime of snacks? Sure, hell, I would do it. Stage a revolution only to become a tyrant yourself? That sounds like me, why not? Every outcome is messy, funny, and somehow perfectly fitting. Visually, Unreal Engine 5 brings color and expressiveness that the first game lacked. Alien skies glow, character animations are a lot sharper, and everything feels alive and immersive. On October 29th, load your shrink ray and your worst instincts. The galaxy is waiting for you. Arc Raiders, release date on October 30th, 2025 for Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. The sky is falling. Machines pour from orbit in waves, tearing through Earth like locusts. Humanity's response? Not armies, not empires, just scavengers. Arc Raiders is Embark Studios' first big release, a team made up of ex-DICE veterans who once built Battlefield, and that pedigree definitely shows. This is a co-op third-person shooter built around skill, spectacle, and unpredictability. The world is open and dynamic, weather systems shift mid-mission, machines patrol unpredictability. Events pop up randomly, from defending settlements to scavenging falling satellites. Combat demands coordination, each class matters, scouts marks weak points, engineers deploy traps, heavy pack firepower. Success comes from synergy, not lone wolf heroics. The aesthetic leans into scrappy survival, weaponless cobbles together from old tech, armor is patched together from sports gear and salvaged paddings. Victories feel earned because your tools look desperate, and then there are the titans, machines the size of buildings stomping across battlefields. Taking them down isn't a firefight at all, it's an event. You scramble for cover, climb their frames, and tear them piece by piece while your squad clings to survival. October 30th, Arc Raiders doesn't want you to feel powerful, it wants you to feel desperate and somehow still prevail. "12 games, 12 worlds, and 1 month that doesn't just add to your backlog, it defines it." October 2025 delivers vengeance carved into snow, space horror that listens when you breathe, fractured timelines where destiny blends, nightmares that refuse to let go, Pokemon in their most primal form, puzzles that seem alive, ecosystem on the edge of collapse, ninja cutting through neon streets, legends reborn, satire sharp enough to wound, and humanity's last stand against machines that fall from the stars. It's not just variety, it's scale, it's ambition, and it's proof that game can still surprise us, scare us, and challenge us, and remind us why the medium is unlike any other out there. So the real question isn't if you'll play one of these, it's which world are you going to step into first? Tell me in the comments down below. I read every single comment, and I want to see which title you're most hyped for. And if you want to go beyond the previews, the countdowns, come hang out with me on Twitch at AndreTheAlpha. I'm here 4 nights a week, diving headfirst into the latest releases, breakdown, boss fights, and just panic dodge rolling because I suck at video games. But the community is always building. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe here on YouTube, ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next video, because October isn't just the beginning. 2025 is stacked and 2026 will be even bigger. But until then, and in a month where every game demands your focus, survival, and your willpower, stay safe, stay sharp, and stay alpha. I'll catch you in the next one.